Students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I am streaming to you from beautiful Budapest here in Hungary. Welcome to today's class. We will be focusing today on IELTS reading. And this is the lesson for the class, with materials coming from aehelp.com for IELTS. And for the general version of the test, check us out at aehelp.com. While we wait for some more of your fellow students to join in on this class, Pachu, Saima, Joanne, I'll show you those websites real quick if you haven't checked them out yet. This is the academic with the blue background. Click that big red button to join. When you do, you'll have access to your My Student account, which has computer-based practice exams, a full online course, paper-based exams, lesson videos over 100 hours, 10 audio CDs, and additional services for speaking, writing, and more. So you'll see that each of these tabs opens up to lots and lots and lots of great materials. The general version of the website looks like this with the green background. Click that big red button to join us there. Hi, I'm all from Uzbekistan, and hello, Ali, in Saudi Arabia. Students who are in Saudi Arabia, you can register for your next IELTS exam through our website. Just send us an email. We are British Council IELTS registration partners. Abhi from India, love you too. Thanks for all the kisses. All right, let's get back to the lesson of the day. If you have questions, comments, send me an email, Adrian, Adrian at aehelp.com, and of course download our app, Academic IELTS Help, from your Android and Apple app stores. Raz for you, good to see you back in class also. Here's our schedule, just going through it. Let's jump to reading. Ba-da-dum-bum. All right. Students, in the IELTS exam for the academic, your reading section will have 3 passages. Each passage is about 700 words, page and a half, and deals with usually some kind of academic topic. In the general version, it's a little bit different. Okay, this we're focusing on the academic, but in the general version, your third reading section is also one long passage, just like the 3 passages in the academic. So for students who need a high band score on the general, like a band score 7 or more, you want those express entry visas for your immigration, I strongly recommend practicing with academic reading passages also, because they're very similar to the third section of the general. They're more challenging, and you need to be able to do them to get the higher band scores. Svitki, hello in the Ukraine. You're very close to where I'm at. I'm in Hungary. Okay, so we are looking at this one. This one could easily be in the general exam as well. We read the title, Charity, always a positive good? Who knows? What is charity? And Sharub, I will definitely tell you some tricks on reading. There's no magic tricks, that doesn't exist. But I'll definitely give you some tips, Sharub, that will help you get good band scores. Ayujin, always love the panda emoji. So what is a charity? Joanne says giving. Joanne, Justy, giving is a closer synonym to donating. When you donate, you can donate clothes or you can donate food. So donate is closer to giving than charity. Charity is a little bit more specific. than just giving. You're kind of missing one word. So giving is like donating. You can donate food, donate clothes, maybe donate toys for children. So that's all giving. Yeah, so Pavan says an organization which helps through cash donations. That's the noun. Pavan, very good. So a charity is an organization that provides help through getting money from donations. Okay, so that's what a charity is. A charity is actually an organization, so it's like a business that is able to give help, so maybe medical help, food, some kind of research. There are lots of different kinds of charities, but they basically survive off of the donations of money. Okay, so a good way to think about charity as a verb is, or as an adjective, charitable giving, is money donations. That's what it is in the end. So charity, always a positive good. Students, definitely read the title, pay attention to the title. Volunteers, Zainab, are different. Okay? In a charity, people aren't necessarily volunteers. Charities actually have employed people, Zainab, that make money working for the charity. So careful not to confuse a charity with volunteering. It's not the same idea. Okay, so here's a tip. So who was it? Someone just asked me, give me some tricks for getting high band scores. Okay, here's a trick. I like to call it a tip instead. Okay, always read the title. Of a passage and think about it so that you can understand the text faster and better. Okay? Too often students just kind of jump over the title and they just start reading. Like, this doesn't even matter. Whoa, wait a second. It's some pretty big and white glowing letters. I think the author thought this was important. The IELTS people think that it's important. That's why it's there, okay? So read the title. Think about it. Don't just read it, but actually think about it, okay? So always a positive good. What does that title actually mean, in your opinion? Okay? So charity, always a positive good. What does that mean? What do you think it means? What does it mean in your world? So, what does it mean? Charity, always a positive good. What is the author trying to... I mean, they're actually asking you this question, right? The author is stating this question for you, the reader. So they're hoping that you maybe think about an answer before you start reading. So Kamlesh says there's nothing negative affecting charitable work. The CR7 guy says, is charity always used for a good purpose? Instead, use that CR7 guy as an answer, right? New and Thien says maybe it has both positive and negative negative and positive effects. Yes, so money given to charity may end up serving a negative outcome. Sure, okay. So maybe there are pros and cons. to giving to charity. Okay, so self-dialogue. Students, practice self-dialogue for the IELTS. That will help you increase your band scores for the writing and for the reading, okay? Especially for the writing and the reading. So here's another tip, okay? Practice self-dialogue. It means asking and answering questions from yourself to get more ideas and think of more details. Okay, that's self-dialogue. So that's what we're doing right now, is this self-dialogue. And I really want you to practice this as you're getting ready for your IELTS exam. So my first question to myself, this is like Adrian speaking to Adrian, right? So Adrian asks Adrian, what does it mean, charity, always a positive good? Well, Adrian, that means that charity maybe sometimes is a negative. There could be positives and negatives to giving money to organizations. So then Adrian asks Adrian another question. What does Adrian ask Adrian next? What do you think? So what would I then ask myself? So when myself says, well, charity could be a positive or a negative, it could have good and bad outcomes, it's debatable. So Ivan says, Adrian might ask himself, why? Why might it have? I would probably ask myself a full sentence question, Ivan. Yeah, Raj, very good. That's probably what I would ask myself. So Raj Rainar says, how is it negative, right? Because that's kind of what comes to mind. So I'd go, well, Adrian, how can a charity possibly be negative? I mean, you're giving money to help people. How could that be negative? So back I go to my other self. What would I answer? So what would I answer? Vanessa, that might be my next question from my other side, okay? Keep going between your two sides. Don't skip, because then you will get lost, okay? So how could charity be that? I just got asked this question. How could charity be a bad thing? That could be very important to think about before I start reading, so that I have a deeper understanding. So Mohammed Nasser says it could go into the wrong hands. Well, it could go into the wrong hands. Okay, Nasser, what do you mean? So Adrian, what do you mean it goes into the wrong hands? Okay. So Juan Pablo, okay, here's Juan Pablo. So Juan Pablo, I'm going to impersonate you as me. So Juan Pablo says, well, for example, all of that money that you're giving to the charity could just end up being the salary for the high-paid CEO of UNICEF, who's making like $500,000 a year, instead of just giving that money to a poor person on the street. Oh, so I could actually be donating money to paying for executives' wages? Yeah, it's possible. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Sajan says, and charities could be using that money for tax purposes, not really for helping people. That's possible too. Okay, so as a tax shelter. Absolutely, Sajan. I've heard about that as well. Okay, Joanne says it could make some people lazy. So there's Adrian talking to Adrian again. Also, if you keep donating money and you're just giving money so that food is given to people without actually helping them to work or farm, then they could become lazy and dependent on the charity for survival. Oh, okay, so I see. Okay, so now you're starting to get the idea. CR7 guy says money laundering. So you're starting to get some good ideas. Why? Because of self-dialogue. Okay, self-dialogue. So build your ideas. A lot of students for the writing and for the speaking ask this as well, is I get stuck for ideas. I can't think about what to write or what to say. Practice self-dialogue. Literally, like, do what I just did. So, hey, hey, don't worry. If you do it on the street, someone might think you're crazy, but that's okay. Focus on building your critical thinking, okay? Maybe do it at home, not on the street. All right, so we've asked the questions. We've thought about it. Next step, let's look at the questions in the passage. Okay, so we go through all of that and we look at the questions. First one, here we go. Reading passage 1 has 5 paragraphs, A to E. Okay. Which paragraph contains the following information? So this is matching information to the correct paragraph. Should I read this question before I read the passage, or should I read these statements before I read the passage? Note, by the way, you can use any letter more than once. It means that you can match some of these statements to the same paragraph. So J.S. Kiva says, yeah. Mohammed Nasser agrees, yes, this is good to read because all of this information for this type of question is somewhere in the passage. Of course, you have to match it to the paragraph, so it will be in the passage. Will it use the exact same words in the passage? So the first one, let's read it. The false portrayal of people in the third world countries. So can I just start scanning? So, ooh, look, there's this fancy word, portrayal. That must be in the passage somewhere. So I go back, and here I go off to the races. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm looking for the word portrayal, 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 portrayal. Because when I find it, it's going to match, and I'm going to choose that paragraph, and then I'll go, whoop, B, and then, oh, there it is. No, it's not there. So I keep searching. Is that going to work for me or no? Mohammed says, yes, but in a different meaning. I don't know. It's Rux says no. Joanne says no. Yeah, that's a really bad strategy. Okay, you're going to lose a lot of time. You're going to get confused, and worst of all, you're probably not going to find the answer. In fact, you might just take your IELTS paper and, like a basketball, throw it out the window. Yeah, no, that's a bad strategy. Okay, that's not the way that we do in the exam. You can't just match words. It's not a game of go fish. The exam is using paraphrasing. They will use different words. In fact, this might just be a very brief summary of the paragraph's idea. So don't do anything at this point. Just read the sentence, try to understand it as much as possible, and keep the idea in mind. Okay, so the goal is remember the idea, or think of the idea, or you know what, even better, focus on the idea and not the words. So here, the false portrayal of people in third world countries. Okay, so the incorrect depiction or picture of poor countries' citizens. So here, this first one, so we'll go through faster. Just this first one, I really want you to understand how to do this. So incorrect depiction of poor countries' citizens. Okay, so don't focus on the words. I paraphrased it so you get another idea. So what does it mean? What does this sentence actually mean? Question here is, what do you see? So when you think about this sentence, okay, so when you think about this sentence, what do you actually see? What picture here? What are you looking at? Okay, what's here? Tell me in your own words. Type into the chat. So type into the chat for me. What do you see? Jancy's saying the wrong image illustrated about underdeveloped countries. And what is that? So Vanessa, what is that? What do you see? When you read that sentence, as long as you, of course, understand it somewhat, what do you see? What kind of a picture pops into your head? Like, okay, that's the picture, right? So what do you see? Vikram says there's some disturbance in the audio in the force. Raj says condition of the country, the social life according to Ali. I actually see, so I have a picture. I'll tell you what I see. So I actually see that little child, okay, it's little Timmy. Timmy is super, super sad. He has, there's flies around his head. Garbage everywhere, open cans and garbage. There's like a broken house with missing. And Timmy is super, super hungry, right? He's doing terrible. And, this is not to downplay it. I respect and I understand that there are a lot of people in need around the world. But the portrayal that we often see in these commercials and in pictures are basically people on their deathbeds in a war-torn country with nothing, okay? And that is sometimes the scenario, but not always the scenario with the charity that's actually collecting the money and showing that picture, right? So that's what starts to kind of be in my mind. Yeah, Amar Wadi says millions of Syrian people or thousands and thousands of Syrian people in these shelter camps and so on. Absolutely. So that's what you should see, okay? So the false portrayal, and they can't do anything, right? They're sitting there and they can't do anything. Like they're completely useless to the world. Okay? That's the false portrayal. So visualize the information as you read the sentences. Okay, the unseen negative effects of donating food. Think about it, visualize it. The unethical nature of some research. Think about it. Okay, think about somebody injecting a monkey with a virus or cutting off the head of a rat to discover a cure for cancer. So the unethical nature of some research. Charity can increase poverty instead of decreasing it. So that poor little child just became even more poor. He doesn't even have the poor little flies around his head anymore. So even more poverty, no house, no broken house, okay? 18, finding cures does not earn money for companies, okay? So visualize it, see it. All right, that's all. Set of questions. These are fill in the blanks. Same idea, read them, visualize them. Should you read these before the passage? Yes. All of this information is in the passage. Don't read it if it has extra or false information. Let's do it. Number 19, while charity is considered an intrinsic good by many people, others something its effectiveness. Okay, intrinsic means that it's fundamentally good. Intrinsic means that it's good from the beginning. It must be. Okay. Number 20, companies have to make products that are profitable. 21, 98.5% of money donated to curing breast cancer actually goes towards finding treatments which only something a patient's life. And this is starting to give me an idea about the passage. There's going to be some example of donating money to cure breast cancer. Okay, 22. The author argues that the practice of spending money on extending sick people's lives is because they should be finding a cure instead. Good. Okay. Let's keep going. Complete the summary using the list of words A to H below. Write the correct letter A to H in boxes 23 to 26 on your answer sheet. Food aid in Haiti. All right. So this is a summary completion. Also, in the passage, also an example of charities. So far, looking at these questions, I know that there will be an example about using charity for curing breast cancer and about giving food or providing food in Haiti. All right, let's read it. A well-known example of aid gone wrong is the donation of rice to the Caribbean nation of Haiti. The aid began at a time when Haiti was experiencing a food, so the aid was well received. There were, however, unseen effects of this intervention. Rice became so prevalent that Haitians started eating it. This resulted in many Haitian farmers going, which put even more people in poverty. Who is benefited by this practice? We must think before giving to charity because often we do not know the consequences of our actions. Okay, we read through that. Fantastic. Now, when you're reviewing the questions, this is happening very quickly. So when you're practicing at home, looking at the questions should only be 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so far for timing, think about it this way. Okay, step 1, read the title and think about it. 1 minute, that's it. Okay, no more, maybe even less, 30 seconds. Step 2, read over the questions. Only questions that are in the passage. And visualize the information. Okay, do this quickly. Don't get stuck on words that are new or grammar that's unique. So this should really only take you 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, then step 3 is read. Okay, so read the passage, visualize, and catalog the content. What do I mean, catalog the content? So what does that mean? Bhupinder, you're very welcome for the tutorial. Okay, so what does it mean to catalog the content as you read? Do you have any idea what I'm suggesting by that? Very important to practice this. This strategy, this tip can save you at least a band score. It doesn't mean predict. It doesn't mean expecting, Jugal. That's the same as satisfying times. Shahan says it's to organize. Banu says maybe to arrange it alphabetically. Vanessa says to summarize it. Yeah, Vanessa, that's kind of the right idea. So to visually and logically organize, summarize and organize the information in each paragraph. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that. So here we go. Let's read together, and we'll focus on this mental cataloging. Okay, we'll focus on this mental cataloging. Yeah, Zainab says organize the main points. That's another very smart way to think about it, Zainab, is organize the main points of each paragraph. Okay, Ali Al-Omar, I think what you're saying is give a title for each paragraph in the passage, not the passage. Okay, let's do it. So here we go. Read with me. Giving money to charity, whether it is cancer research, humanitarian aid, or something else, is accepted by the vast majority of people as an intrinsic good, though we sometimes do cast a doubtful eye towards the practice of charity. That is to say, the promotion of donated funds that reach the intended source. The intended effects on the source are almost never doubted. People need help, and charity helps them. This is uncontroversial, or is it? Some people argue giving to cancer charities does little more than line the pockets of pharmaceutical companies. Meanwhile, others argue that giving to humanitarian aid charities does not improve but actually worsens the lives of those affected by the charity. So, whenever you read a paragraph, even if you don't go into a lot of detail, at least take one super important step. And you really need to do this, okay? You need to ask yourself, what did I just read? So what is this paragraph about? List of headings questions is exactly this. So what is this paragraph about? So that's how you start your catalog. Your catalog starts with the letter A. What is this first introductory paragraph about? In your own words. What is it about? And always practice this step when you're getting ready before your IELTS exam. So I can't read Korean, but you have the right idea. So contradicting opinions about charity. Okay? So in my words, the paragraph is about the debatable utility of giving to charities. Debatable means arguable or controversial. Utility means usefulness. Okay, so the arguable usefulness of giving to a charity. Arun says the cons, perhaps, of giving to a charity. Fine, Arun, that works. Okay, so in your own words, as long as you get the right idea, it works. Okay, let's go to the next one. So now that I have that, okay, I keep that in my mind. So in my mind, I catalog, I go check, okay, I focus in on it, and I see two people arguing. Charities are always good. No, charities are always bad. That's A, okay? So that's the first one. So I memorize that. I hold on to that one piece. Even if I forgot everything else in that first paragraph, I keep that picture of two people arguing about good, no bad, good, no bad. Okay? So B, read with me. Okay? This is a reading class for the IELTS exam. For those of you that are here to watch Star Wars, sorry to disappoint you. So this is reading, so read with me. Okay? Let's read together. All right? The most well-funded cancer research by far is for breast cancer. There are innumerable charities associated with raising money for breast cancer research. But unfortunately, almost all of this money goes not towards finding a cure, but finding treatments that extend a patient's life. This is your key sentence. It's your topic sentence. Because the monies raised by most charities end up in private research companies, these companies have a financial incentive to produce medications which are profitable. Unfortunately, for those among us who are suffering and will suffer from breast cancer and other cancers, finding a cure is simply not profitable. As it turns out, 97% of money that actually contributes to breast cancer research, that is not counting a charity's operating cost, for example, is spent on treatments that merely extend a patient's life by a matter of weeks. Given that charity overhead is often 50% or more, the math works out like this. For every 100 pounds, given toward finding a cure for breast cancer, only $1.50 or 1.5% of that money goes to actually finding a cure for breast cancer. The actual number, depending on the particular charity, may be even less. Should research laboratories really be spending hundreds of millions of pounds on merely extending a sick person's life? Ethically, the answer is no. Indeed, they should be spending that money on actually trying to find a cure, so that the sick person does not merely have 2 torturous weeks longer to endure, but decades of vibrant, healthy life ahead of them. Okay, good. We read that paragraph. Whew, a lot of words in there. Lots of ideas from the author. Do I need to remember every little detail? No, but I need to remember the main idea. What is the main idea? Jagal says, so money should be spent on the cure, not the treatment. Yeah, Jagal, I think that's good. Just be a little bit more specific. So should be spent on the cure and not treatment of what? So Jagal, you're almost there. Your summary is like 80% complete. Charity money should be spent on cure, not the treatment of what? Mohammed says the budget spent on cancer research. Yeah, Mohammed, you put yours together with Jagal's and you got the full answer. Okay. Yeah, so it's particularly about cancer as an example of. So B, what is this paragraph about? Answer that charity for cancer should be spent on finding cures and not treatment. Okay? All right. So that's the argument of the author in this paragraph. Okay? That's the idea that you want to get. So again, after I finish reading this paragraph, I take a moment, I think about this, okay? I see a very sick person. I see somebody suffering from cancer. And then a doctor being like, here's a pill, you'll live another week. And being like, but no, I want to live years. Give me a pill that cures me, okay? So I visualize it. I hold that. So I got A, people arguing. I got B, the sick person. And now I'm going on to read C. Cancer research, again, read with me. Cancer research is one example of the fallibility of giving to charity. Fallibility, maybe a new word. Am I going to stop there? No. I just read through it. I don't stop and start thinking, ooh, what is that? Oh, it's a high-level word. Maybe it's an answer. No, just read through it. Go through it, okay? So one more time. Cancer research is one example of the fallibility of giving to charity. Giving to humanitarian aid charities is another. The Western world is showered with television adverts for humanitarian charities. These charities depict countries in Africa and Central America as completely destitute, full of abject poverty, and absolutely helpless without the help of Western world. This depiction is not only grossly misleading, but also creates a dangerous perception of the third world as utterly hopeless and utterly dependent. This perception leads to unquestioning acceptance of charities as a positive good, since they are helping what are perceived to be helpless people. But the truth is that people in the third world are not helpless at all. However, treating them as helpless can, in fact, turn them into helpless people. Okay, that actually connects with my ideas when I was thinking about the title. So what is this paragraph about? The wrong portrayal or the incorrect picture of these really helpless people in developing countries. And I have the picture in my head because I had that even in the beginning when I was looking at the title, right? So here for C, so I have the two people arguing, I have the person sick with breast cancer, now I have this helpless person in Africa who's like, give me money because I can't survive if you don't buy me rice, okay? All right, so visualizing. Now I go on to the next one, D. One of the most famous examples of humanitarian aid gone wrong is the donation of rice in Haiti. It was meant, of course, as a positive good for the Haitian people. There was a food shortage, and donated rice helped solve the problem. Actions, however, have effects, and sometimes these effects are unforeseen. Before the food shortage, Haitians ate rice an average of 1 time per week. Since the aid started, Haitians now eat rice for almost every meal, every day of the week. Because the rice is free or available for nominally low prices from local vendors, the Haitian people consume it to the exclusion of almost all other foodstuffs. The effect of this is to not only bankrupt the rice farmers of Haiti, of which there were previously many, but also to bankrupt huge swaths of the local food industry. This is because with free rice flooding the market, people are going to eat the rice and not spend money on other food items, which are much more expensive. This results in local farmers and producers not being able to make money, and thus they go out of business. This has the effect of turning the farmers into the very kind of needy people that the aid was supposed to help in the first place. The act of charity did not reduce poverty in the country, it actually increased it greatly. Okay, visually, I'm continuing my visual picture board, my catalog of ideas. Now I picture what this paragraph is about. What do I picture? So what do I picture, students? So far I have the two people arguing about charity's good, charity's bad. Then I have the person who has breast cancer, some cancer, and talking to the doctor saying, hey, doc, I don't need a treatment, I need a cure. Then I have that poor little child in Africa with the broken down home and the flies around their head going, I can't do anything if you don't help me. Now what do I see? And you build these pictures as best as you can. So Amar Wadi says, I see Haitian individuals. Okay, Amar, not a bad start. I see a little bit more than just Haitian individuals. I'm not seeing explanations, Mohammed. So Mohammed says aid did not help but increased the problem. That's difficult to see. I'm actually thinking about the picture of what I see. So what is the actual image that I'm observing? Okay, Shang Hung says, I'm living in Haiti. I felt hungry. After I got some aid, I can now eat rice every single day. Thank you, charity. Okay, Shang Hung, good. That is a good visualization. Yeah. So I'm seeing a farmer who no longer has a job. I used to grow tomatoes or apples or something, but I can't do that anymore because nobody needs my apples. Everybody's eating rice. I don't have a job. Now I'm the one getting rice from other people helping me. Okay. Yeah, Carolina, there you go. Asanio, very good. Okay, so that's what you're looking at. So Carolina says, a person from Haiti eating rice all the time and a farmer sad because nobody buys their food. Good, Carolina. Fantastic. That's what you should see. Okay. All right. So I keep going. Breast cancer research and humanitarian aid are just two examples of charities gone wrong. However, the intent of this article is not to dissuade people from giving to charity. Conversely, the intent is to make people think more critically about where their charity monies go. Who is being benefited? Who is being harmed? What are the unforeseen consequences? Thinking critically about charity is the first step in truly helping those in need. So that's obviously the conclusion. What do you see there? So what do you see for this last paragraph, for the conclusion? So Satisfying Time says, I think to investigate before giving to charity. That's, again, the explanation, Satisfying Times, but it's not the explanation. It's the image that you want to capture in your mind when you think, what is this paragraph about? Okay, so what do you actually see? It's very difficult, satisfying times in Sudhansu and Jugal. It's difficult to catalog questions. So if you're summarizing the paragraph as a question, like what are the results of the charity or how to use a charity, it will be difficult to keep all of the questions clear and separate. So it's a much better strategy to actually think of a tangible, of a real image, of a real individual person, yourself, and go from there. Okay? So Amar says, I should ponder on the goods and the bads of the charity. Juan Pablo says, maybe I see a person thinking of where to put their money, their charity money. Juan Pablo, be more affirmative. So not maybe, but say, I see, okay? I see my brother with $10 going, I want to help people. And I'm going, okay, think about where you put that $10 because maybe you're not helping people. So that's what I see. So I see an image, okay? So satisfying times, good correction. You say, I'm seeing a sick person. Will they benefit from the money I give them? So you're researching. Maybe you see yourself searching online. Where should I donate $10? Okay. All right. So see the image. Okay. Let's see how we do. Here we go. Okay. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Let's do it. Here we go. By the way, when you're really good at this, all of that reading and cataloging is 10 minutes. Okay, it should only take 10 minutes. Here we go. The false portrayal of people in the third world countries. Paragraph A, B, C, D, or E. Which one was it? Look how fast some of you are now. C. Absolutely, right? That's where we saw the, and look how accurate all of you are. Fantastic. The unseen negative effects of donating food. Yeah, you guys are switching it up now, girls as well. Yeah. D, right? We see those Haitians. Very good. Okay. The unethical nature of some research. The unethical nature of some research. Okay, most of you are getting it. B, that's the cancer, right? So keep that image in mind. Remember, unethical means it's not the right way. Remember the image for B, right? Where somebody is suffering from cancer and they go, hey, I don't need this pill for treatment that costs thousands of dollars. I need a cure, right? So keep the image in mind. 17, charity can increase poverty. Charity can increase poverty instead of decreasing it. So charity can increase poverty instead of decreasing it. Number 17. Okay, Vikram says E, Haiti, but Vikram, that wasn't Haiti. Carolina says D, yeah. It's D. Again, you may use any letter more than once. I would go D on that because it's the farmer, right? So the farmer doesn't have a job because everybody's eating rice. Just keep your pictures in mind. You'll be fine. Believe in your mental catalog. Believe in your pictures, right? So 18 has to be D. Or sorry, 17 has to be D. Okay? Finding cures does not earn money for companies. Finding cures does not earn money for companies. Last one, number 18. Banu says B. Okay, B it is. Very good, Banu. So you pictured it, right? It's like, but doctor, I need a cure, not a treatment. The doctor, if you take it one step further, but if I cure you, I can't sell you more pills, right? So look at this, C, D, B, D, B, okay? In these kinds of questions, students, we have to match to the paragraph, and it says you may use any letter more than once. So here we have D used twice, we have B used twice, A and E are not in here, okay? So there's no guarantee that you will have a statement which matches with every paragraph. You might not, okay? So use what's here, use your visualization, use your images, okay? No, Pavan. So in space 14 on your answer sheet, you have to write C. In space 15, you have to write D. You will not get this correct for number 17 if you just have the one D, okay? This question doesn't say that you have to find at least one for each paragraph. It just says which paragraph has this information. You can use any letter more than once. And this one and this one are found in paragraph B. This one and this one in D. This one in C. A and E are not represented in this question set. There's no guarantee. It doesn't say anywhere that there's at least one match for each paragraph. It's not there. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's see how well we can do here without searching in the passage. While charity is considered an intrinsic good by many people, others something its effectiveness. Okay? While shows opposition, however. Okay? And many people think it's good, so what do you think others will do? What's the word that you would naturally want to put in there without searching? What word would you choose from your own vocabulary? Saima, extrinsic doesn't grammatically make sense. So extrinsic is the opposite of intrinsic, but doesn't make sense there. So while charity is considered, forget this word. Okay? So while charity is considered good by many people, others... Okay, Jancy says question its effectiveness, and that could be okay. Doubt. Okay, doubt its effectiveness. Argue its effectiveness. Okay, so let's say I can't think about it. Where should I look? So where do I look for this one? Okay, if I have to search, where will I find this answer? Yeah, so Mohammed Wahab says you'll find it in paragraph A. Banu, first paragraph, not first passage. The whole reading is one passage. So in the first paragraph, so I know that because I have that mental catalog. So it's definitely there. Okay, so here, okay, it is accepted by vast majority of people as an intrinsic good, though we sometimes do cast a doubtful eye towards the practice of charity. Okay, so there's that word doubtful, and the correct word form is doubt. Okay, doubt. All right. So let's do one more. Companies have something to make products that are profitable. Okay, what's the word that goes in there? So doubtful. Companies have a something to make products that are profitable. What do they have? Anybody? Can you think about the word that goes in there? What would you naturally put in there from your own area? Okay, Sudhanshu says maybe strategy. Ranjit says tendency. Sheng Hung says financial incentive. Very good. Yeah. So Shangheng, you're right. So companies have a financial incentive is correct. It's two words. Sorry, you don't see that very clearly, but there can be up to two words there. The correct answer is financial incentive. And even if you don't think of financial, you might think of the word incentive. Another way to say incentive is motivation. You'll find that in the second body paragraph. All right, students, for questions 21, 27, I will leave that for you for homework, and you can send it to me, and I'll let you know if you got the correct answer or not. Try to figure it out as quickly as possible. The video will be up in about half hour on the channel. So here's the remaining questions. 21, 98.5% of money donated to curing breast cancer actually goes towards finding treatments which only something a patient's life, but do not cure them. You can probably get that one pretty quick. The author argues that the practice of spending money on extending sick people's lives is something because they should be finding a cure instead. And then comes this paragraph with food shortage in Haiti, and here are your choices. So take a look at the end of the video in 30 minutes, choose the correct answers, and of course many of you have our exam books and have our products because you've joined our web pages, General IELTS. You won't find it there because the reading is different there, but if you're an academic student, then you can join our academic IELTS website, and you will find this reading passage, okay? So click that big red button and you will find it there in the second exam book for those of you who have it. Okay, everyone, that's it for me for today. I'm wrapping it up there. Again, make sure to join us. Download our app, Academic IELTS Help. Tomorrow we have 2 more classes coming up at the same time. Okay, you're very, very welcome. I definitely see some good answers coming up in the chat for some of those questions that were there. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. If it's late in your country, get some good sleep, charge your batteries, wake up tomorrow, positive outlook on the day, and I wish you all sweet dreams. Bye for now.